So students, all students are welcome here to watch a YouTube channel of Course Satyavira College of Engineering and Management. It is an education channel which is which play an important role to spread wide spreading the education throughout the world. Now I am Muhammad Arshad starting an important lecture, fuel. First, first of all, you should have to understand what is a fuel. What are the basic knowledge about the fuel? And as far as concerned your syllabus in chemistry, unit 4th is divided into the two part. First part is concerning to an important topic, that is the hardness of water. Hardness of water, and further it is the fourth unit is also divided into the second category, that is the fuel. Fuel is an important topic to your syllabus. Let us start a new topic of fuel. What are the basic content as far as concerned the fuel topic in your syllabus? So let us discussing about the topic fuel. First, you have to define the definition of a fuel, and you may have to classify the fuel. What are the classification of the fuel? And then after, the characteristics of a fuel. What are the basic characteristics of a good fuel? A fuel must be good or better. So what kind of the basic qualities that a fuel must have? And then after, an important topic or an important title will be there to study as far as concerned the fuel topic, that is calorific value of a fuel. It is a very important topic uh, if you study about the fuel. Calorific value is also divided into the two category. First one is the gross calorific value of a fuel, and the second one is the net calorific value of a fuel. So students, you understand about the calorific value of a fuel, that is divided into the two category. First one is the gross calorific value of a fuel or higher calorific of a fuel. Higher calorific value of a fuel or GCV or SCV. And the second one is the net calorific value of a fuel. It will also describe in another word, that is net lower calorific value of a fuel. So students, you understand about the whole scenario. The fuel or calorific value of a fuel can be divided into the two category. The calorific value of a fuel may be divided into the two category. First one is the gross calorific value or higher calorific value, and the second category of the calorific value you must study here, that is net calorific value of a fuel, or it may also be called lower calorific value of a fuel. So it is a classifications of a calorific value for fuel. And then after, you must study about the coal. What kind of the coal is there? So classification of a coal you must study here, an important topic. And then after, the characteristics of coal, and then after, analysis of a coal. It is a very important as far as concerned the coal topic. So there are two analysis process in your syllabus. That is, the first one is the ultimate analysis of a coal, and the second one is the proximate analysis of a coal. After analysis process of a coal, you must study the determination of a calorific value of a fuel. So it may also further divided into the two category. First one is the you may you can determine the calorific value of a fuel by bomb calorimeter. Okay, and the second one is method by Dulong's formula. By the use of the Dulong's formula, a calorific value can be easily calculated. So these two important method by which you can determine the calorific value of a fuel. Remember it. First one is the bomb calorimetric method, and the second one is the Dulong's formula. So this is the these are the topic of your syllabus as far as concerned the fuel topic. Now let us understand what is the fuel. Fuel. How can I define the fuel? So fuel can easily define any combustible substance. Combustible substance means, what is the means of combustible substance? Combustible substance means any kind of a substance which can burn and provide heat after burning. So any combustible substance which on burning in air produce large amount of heat that can be used economically for industrial as well as domestic purpose. So students, fuel can be easily defined. Fuel can be easily defined any kind of the combustible substance. Combustible substance means those substance which can easily burn fire and provide heat after burning in presence of air. So that those kind of the substance are known as fuel. So then fuel is any chemical substance which can act as a source of energy in any form by a suitable devices. Okay, what are the example of a fuel? You understand about most of the example you can you can view it here around yourself. First one is an important example of the fuel, that is the coal. Coal is an important example of the fuel. When you burn coal, then you will get a huge amount of the heat after burning a coal. And then after the wood is also an example of a type of a fuel. So kerosene oil, diesel, biogas, LPG, CNG, there are lots of examples by which you can understand the category of a fuel. Now fuel can be divided into the three category. It may be solid, liquid or gaseous fuel. We will discuss about the types of the fuel after the characteristics of the good fuel. So now here in this lecture we will also discussing about the characteristics of good fuel. What are the properties of a good fuel? Good fuel may have moderate rate of combustion. What is the means of this sentence? Moderate rate of combustion. That means when you burn fuel, then a heat provided by the fuel, the rate of the providing heat, it will be a moderate. Okay, it will not a type of a bursting. So a good fuel may have moderate rate of combustion. Second properties of a good fuel, that is the easy to transport. You can transport fuel easily, so there will be no problem to transportation here and there if you can use the fuel for the transportation. So easy to transport. The third important property of a good fuel, that is the moderate ignition temperature should be necessary. You may understand about that point. What is the means of this? That means when you burn a fuel, then a little or a low temperature should be required to fire a fuel. That is the minimum temperature required to burn a fuel. That is called an ignition temperature of a fuel. Now, then after, the low cost should be necessary of a good fuel. If the cost is high, then the fuel must be not a good fuel. So easy availability should also be there. A good fuel must be available easily. Then after, low cost storage cost. If you store if you storage a fuel, then the total cost of storage will be minimum. So low storage cost will be necessary. And then after, the combustion should be easily controllable. If a fuel gets fire, then it is necessary that a fuel that a fire should be controllable. Combustion should be controllable, easily controllable. You can control the fire easily. Then that fuel will be a good fuel. Okay. And the last one is that the property as far as concerned the good fuel, high calorific value. It is very important. When a fuel burn, then the total heat produced by the fuel after the burning, then the total heat after burning a fuel, which we get in the form of calorie, that is called the calorific value of a fuel. Okay. So these are the important characteristics of a good fuel. So you may have studied about the good fuel.